Okay, well today I'm going to make a mallet. This is one of these things that I've wanted to make for a long time and finally I did. But before I get started, I just want to address a couple of comments about the plywood video I made. If you've already made something with the cheaper grade plywood, don't worry about it. If it's already made, there's nothing you can do about it and it'll probably be fine. Most of the problems that you're going to encounter are going to be during the build, where you have to waste time and waste material cutting around imperfections in the plywood. So just don't stress out if you've already made a project with it. And again, maybe some of the home stores do sell good plywood, but it's like anything. Look through the plywood before you buy it and try to buy a good sheet. Getting back to the mallet, the thing that inspired me to make the mallet is a few weeks ago when I was mortising in the hinges on the blanket chest, I was using a scrap piece of wood as a mallet, and I thought to myself, you know, give yourself a little treat here and make yourself a nice mallet. So I've had this Purple Heart kicking around the shop for a couple of years now, and I came out on Saturday morning and cut one of these boards in half and made the first mallet. And now I'm going to make another one, and this one I'm going to give away. So if you want to win this mallet, just go to my website and leave a comment, and maybe Wednesday I'll just pick a random comment and send it out to whoever that random comment or winner is. But this is only for the United States because shipping's gotten really expensive. I did a giveaway on a frame, a little frame, and it cost me like $25 to ship. So sorry, that's just the way it is. So if you live in the United States and you want a mallet, leave a comment on my website. The first thing I'm going to do is draw a few reference lines on the handle, and I'm using a white chalk pencil because you can see it good against this Purple Heart. I'm using a small paint can to trace this quarter circle. And then using this straight line as a reference, I'm going to try to make a gentle arc. And that's really good enough. There's a lot of wiggle room with a project like this because after I cut the shape out on the bandsaw, I'm going to shape the handle with the sander. Well, I can't say I'm too proud of the bandsaw work that I just did, but it shouldn't be too difficult to clean these cuts up with the belt sander. Okay, well that looks pretty good, and now I'm drawing reference lines for the next cuts with the bandsaw. Well, I'm just not having an easy go with it today using the bandsaw, but luckily this main shape right here is the same shape as the drum of the sander, so I should have no problem taking care of this. I just spent a good 10 or 15 minutes shaping this handle, and now what I want to do is round it over. You can see it's a straight line or a hard line that goes from the bottom of the handle to the bottom of the mallet. And now I want to round that over, and again I'm going to use the belt sander. Well, now I'm getting there, and just a quick note, what I like to do is as I'm sanding the handle, I periodically will just put it in my hand and see what it feels like. And the next step is to round the bottom off, and again I'm going right back to the drum sander, and I'm just going to, or not the drum sander, the belt sander, and I'm just going to sort of roll the mallet and round this bottom part over. I've been using 50 grit sandpaper in the belt sander, And that's pretty good for shaping it, but now I want to fine tune the handle a little bit and get rid of some of the scratch marks. So I'm going to now put 80 grit sandpaper in the belt sander. One of the difficult things about working with Purple Heart is that it burns very easy. So when I sand now, I'm going to apply very light pressure and hopefully get rid of these burn marks. I've gone about as far as I can go with the belt sander, and now I'm going to move on to the palm sander with 120 grit silicone carbide paper. But before I do that, I'm going to round over these hard edges with a round over bit in the router. Okay, well, I've finished sanding the mallet, and now I'm putting on a few thin coats of shellac. And again, if you want to try to win this, just go to my website and leave a comment on the post. Now, on a side note, when I was getting all those burn marks, it made me think of that guy David Petruto from The Drunken Woodworker, because he hates Purple Heart. And if you're not familiar with the show, it's just a funny show. It's like a weekly wrap-up of all the different woodworking shows out there on the web, and I look forward to it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.